Ruth.
How Ebony?
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm really well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad that we can start our podcast. First episode.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Ebony and Ruth podcast.
Drums.
Yeah, it's been a process. Right now it's very warm in this place.
Yep.
Like sweating out of everywhere. You don't even know where.
So if you guys see a teardrop going down our face, know that it's not a teardrop. Probably it's a sweat drop. We'll be trying to not sweat.
I don't know.
But yeah.
No promises. No
But
promises.
This has been a long time coming. Seriously, this has been such a preparation journey, a journey of when it's time to release and when it's not time to release, and the name and everything. It's just been a long journey, but we are so excited. I'm so stoked. I'm so excited. Oh my God.
So what was the name we wanted to call it before we decided to call it Ebony and Ruth podcast? Pillow Talk.
Dun, dun, eh.
And
We need
what was
the
reason?
R&B sexy song behind it. Honey, you with the voice, you should be singing now.
Singing? I don't know. No song is coming right now. Pillow Talk.
No, but for real, like we wanted to have this major vision and like major thing. And then so we were thinking about the name and we were like, yeah, Pillow Talk, because we wanted to have deep, honest, intimate, naked, basic, not like we are naked, but like conversations that are really happening at home when you're honest to each other and like the intimate talks. So that was the idea. And so that's one of the reasons why we wanted to call it Pillow Talk. But then eventually we had like a huge discussion about it. We were like, okay, this is not us.
I mean, the idea of Pillow Talk was we wanted to come against the popular belief of what Pillow Talk signifies. Because normally when you say Pillow Talk, it talks about very cordial talk that you have on bed before or after sex.
Yeah.
It's mostly
intimate.
It's mostly I would say connected to some kind of romantic action.
Yeah.
So, but we wanted to bring a twist to the name and just say, hey, intimate talk, close talk.
Pillow Talk.
Funny, we're on the bed and there are two pillows. So it still looks like Pillow Talk, but
it's Ebony and Ruth.
It's Ebony and Ruth podcast because everything that we'll be talking about will be authentically what Ebony and Ruth would talk about.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to give also some kind of conflicting ideas as to what the name signifies or meant.
Yes. Where we always have to end the conversation with, because we also had this thing where we were thinking about even how every human is an addict or something like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we are all drug addicts.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to call it also for a little while. And they were like, no, then it means that every conversation that we have would mean that we would have to end it to that phrase. We are all
it must have
addicts.
That, point to that direction.
Yeah, point into that direction.
But you want to tell them why we wanted to call it We're All Drug Addicts? Do you remember?
Yeah, because we're all actually craving that dopamine in our lives. And it's a really interesting topic. And I think we're gonna cut on that and we're gonna have a talk over that in one like specific for one podcast episode. Because it's a really interesting topic. That we are all craving.
We've been talking about dopamine and how like a short form of dopamine is dope.
Yeah.
And normally that's the phrase used for drugs.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, not actually everyone, loves to have this feeling of dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Whether it's from eating food, running, training, having sex.
I mean, that's why you call it food orgasm.
And
Come
even
on.
True. And even satisfaction.
That's why you see
I
me
never
dancing.
thought about it that way, but yeah, that's true. But yeah, even anything you want to do to get satisfaction, there is a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Everybody loves dopamine. And somehow we're in a culture where we're almost driving towards just
dopamine.
Like the only focus is just dopamine. But
all the time, yeah.
we'll talk about that in the future. But like she said, we didn't want to call it that because
we always had to end then the conversation leading or pointing to that that title, that name of the podcast. And so that's the same thing with Pillow Talk. That's why we were like, okay, we don't want that. We still want our podcast to be authentic, us, our conversation. We want it to be honest. We want it to be deep, real.
Sometimes even funny.
Sometimes funny because that's us. And we just wanted to get to you guys or bring you guys along this whole journey of us having conversations, because this is not something that we just started now.
Yeah.
God, I hope like seriously, if you guys don't have conversations like this, you should have it as a couple, as a married couple. We should have conversations like this where we sit down and we have deep conversations, because it helps us to grow and it helps us to know each other better. But this hasn't started just now, did it?
Oh no,
this has been a long time.
Even before we started dating.
Yeah, when we started
dating. We had a talk that lasted a couple of hours.
Yeah. When we decided actually that we would start dating, it took us like 4 hours.
I mean, it didn't take us 4 hours to decide, but like the talk we had.
Oh yeah.
Before
seriously, we're gonna have this seriously, we're gonna have like a deep talk about our whole journey of
everything.
Every single dirty detail. Dirty. No, I'm just saying.
Wrong podcast, guys.
Not dirty, but like every single little thing, and a really honest and real conversation about how we met and the whole love story. Because I believe that a lot of our YouTubers haven't really heard. We talked about it. It was a very long time ago about
the beginning,
about our love story, but maybe not as detailed as we would do now, because the fact is that we have more time to do
in this podcast. What you would notice is that we're a bit laid back with the time.
Yep.
You can go for an hour or 2 or 3. We don't really care.
No.
You can decide to watch it, like binge watch it, or like watch it in different segments.
Yeah.
That's your choice. But we're going to be going to different parts of our lives or different topics. And there's not going to be any cuts.
Yeah.
So if we blab on the microphone and we don't know what to say, it's going to go on until we find what to say. But mostly we have a topic that we want to talk about. So
by blab, he means me going swifting off.
Both of us. You want to say the word? Because sometimes you want to say a word and then you say it with the wrong accent. Yeah. You're like, oh, what was that? And then you have to correct it. What did I just say? What did I just say?
What did you just say? I beg.
In case you don't know, I'm a Nigerian man. So sometimes the Nigerian accent can also come out into the podcast. So just so you know. So when I go, hey guys, how you doing? And hey guys, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
These are like 2 people inside of me. So just...
And me trying to hype him with my little pigeon English that I have.
You should try the German one.
This is very funny because I do not like it when I speak I can't even do it.
She used to be able to do it. Now she doesn't.
I'm serious. I cannot do the German accent because I don't know.
It's a German accent.
It's a German accent.
You have a friend. Her name is Stephanie. Man, she's very good in accents.
Oh yeah, she can even do the British.
Stephanie can do the British, the French.
Holla at Stephanie for being so good in accents.
Swedish Stephanie.
Swedish.
I hope you're watching this.
Yeah, I hope you're watching this.
Yeah.
Our hype person in Sweden, Norway.
Yeah. In case you guys are wondering where we're recording from, we're recording on our bed in our caravan.
Our tiny home.
Our tiny home for now. That's another topic. We decided to go into a tiny home.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have.
So we have multiple topics.
You guys have so much to talk about. Seriously, you're gonna be buckle up, guys. Buckle up because it's gonna be such exciting season.
Yeah.
We are in, and it's gonna be so much that we're gonna share. And so much that we feel like we can talk about. So buckle up. Be ready.
Yeah.
Take a cup of tea. Take some coffee. If you are doing your dishes, put it on. If you are driving somewhere, maybe to your work or to your school or whatever, just put on our podcast.
Yes.
Just listen to us. And
so basically, it's going to be on YouTube and other podcast platforms.
Yeah.
So we have the audio version and the video version. Yeah. So whichever one is convenient for you to listen. Yeah.
But we are excited. We're really excited about this. So this whole thing hasn't just been birthed now this year. This has been something that has been on our hearts for a very long time. As you already talked about, that this is something that we started already in a dating phase.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you can go back to that, like in how it looked like, what we would talk about, and why this is such a major part in our relationship, that we sit down and have those conversations. Yeah, I don't know.
Like for me, I've always been like a thinker. And so mostly when I try to have conversations, I'm not really a big fan of small talk.
Mm.
I know how to do it.
Yep.
But it's quite exhausting.
Yes.
And it's something that is very common in the West, small talk. Like where I come from, in Nigeria, of course, you have like people that are very friendly to you, but when they sit to talk to you, they genuinely are interested in you. They like you. They want to get to know you.
Yeah.
But traveling to the States and other Western countries, it was quite different. Like people would have small talk or talk to you just to be nice.
How are you?
Yeah.
How are you today?
Like, it doesn't really.
I'm fine. Thank you. See you later.
I mean, we're not trying to make fun of anybody's accent.
No,
or any
I'm not.
country. Yeah.
I'm not making fun of anything. I'm just pointing it out that it's more of a common thing in different places, in different areas, in different, even in different culture. Like, how would I say it? Cultures, not really cultures, but I mean, like maybe churches or events or schools, depending on where you are into. And so, because we are both Christians, this is a common thing in, like, I would say, Western circles.
Western Christian circles, you mean?
Yeah. That is a more of a common thing to be having conversations like that, where like, oh, how are you? I'm fine. Oh yeah, see you next Sunday, kind of like that. And just like having small talks a little bit on how we are, and that's it. But not really having deep conversations about God, about what's going on in our lives, and what is on our hearts.
I mean, sometimes they could talk about God if it's a Christian circle, but like the vulnerability, just to talk about really what's going on in their lives, and let you in. That's the thing, let you in. It's
takes time.
Yeah, it takes a while, and so that was something I had to also confront traveling to different Western countries. So at some point, it was quite difficult for me to make friends or really connect, because when I would visit, for example, when I was in the States, when I would talk to people, I would genuinely like them, and I would think they were genuinely interested in me.
Yeah,
but I would genuinely.
Is it not genuinely?
I know. Okay. Genuinely. Whatever it means, I don't know. You can say whatever. Genuinely, whatever.
Genuinely.
Genuinely. Yeah. But I discovered that wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. So I kind of withdrew, because I wasn't interested in the small talk over and over again.
Plus, you're more of an introvert also.
Introvert also. So. Yeah, I'm introverted. So I withdrew, and so it was in this period of withdrawing that you came.
Yeah.
And actually, I was in Hawaii. I was with a missionary organization, and I was serving there in the media team. And I was in this period of my life where I was just way laid back and withdrawn. Didn't want to talk to anybody. I was just I'm done with all this drama and whatever is going on.
I'm like done.
And that's when she came, and I was actually in the cafeteria.
I was like, hi. No, not like that. How are you? Sorry.
Oh, I was in the cafeteria eating. If that's how you said it, I wouldn't even have responded.
No. Seriously, okay. You need to explain how I look like also. I think that also helped you to be more open towards me, maybe. Because if I wouldn't have looked like that, maybe it wouldn't have been.
I mean, I wouldn't say the look. Don't know. Like, I would say more your approach and the personality for me was quite important. So because, like I said, when you're in Hawaii and there are a lot of people that look great,
Yeah. We're in a
but
place where everybody is showing her body or their bodies.
but at some point, if that's the only thing people have to offer, you get bored of it, in that sense. So, like I was approached by this lady, because I was in the cafeteria. I was just eating my food, and then she came to the cafeteria, grabbed her food, and she was with a friend from the UK.
Yeah.
And she was just passing by, and she walked up to me and was like, "Hey, you want to come join us and eat on our table or something like that?"
Eat with us, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it's sad. Food doesn't taste as good as when you're sitting with other people together.
Mm-hmm.
Food tastes way better. I mean, that's what happens when we go to Uno and Rebecca. I'm for sure, 100% sure about this, that their food tastes better because we are.
Who's Ono and Rebecca, babe?
Okay, friends of us. But like friends of us when we are meeting and
they also have a YouTube channel.
They also have a YouTube channel. Hello them.
Yeah. The
Peter Tribe.
The Peter Tribe. Yeah.
Yeah. Una's a really cool guy, but that's another topic for another podcast. But yeah, anyways, you will hear from them probably here and there because they're really close friends to us. God blessed us with them. But yeah, when we sit together, the food just tastes better, way better. And so that was actually my thought, because I felt like, okay, food, I don't know, the food there was already special.
Yeah. Special is another word for it.
And so like I felt sad because the way he was eating his food was like he was rushing it, and then he was like shoulders down, trying to just be by himself. And I just felt like, okay, no, this guy has to come and eat with us. And so that was my thought why I invited you.
I mean, yeah, like she said, I was like in a hurry. I was like in a hurry to just eat and go back to the studio and continue my media stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And another reason why I was in the hurry was because I didn't want anybody to come sit on my table.
Yeah.
And have to talk, because I was so tired of talking. Just wanted to eat and just go back to. Go
because
back to the studio.
There are thousands of people there in this place.
So many people.
And they're going in and out, and people are coming, people are leaving.
Come. Yeah.
So it's like, it's this, and I understand a little bit now, looking back, I understand why you're a little bit more the way you were.
And there was also some preconceived ideas as regards Africans. When you try to make friends with white people, what you actually want. If it's a white girl, you probably want to.
He's just after your baby.
Get married to her so you can stay in the States or whatever. And if it's a white guy, it's probably you talking to the person maybe to raise some support or something. Like there was just some preconceived ideas as regards Africans, and that had some basis on past experiences with some people. I don't know. But at that point in time, I was just done with it. And I didn't want to give anybody any room to say whatever. So, but she didn't know about all that.
I was just a nanny. I mean, I just came there and, serving the Lord, trying to meet friends because I'm a very outgoing person. I would, at that point in time in my life, I was a very extrovert person. Like, I was really out and about. If I could be on 3 weddings at the same time, I would.
Oh, wow.
Because I was really outgoing. I think I've settled down.
She's still outgoing, but it's a bit different now.
Actually, people, when I'm going out and I'm going to a place where people don't know me and I don't know them, they actually are shocked later on that I'm telling them that I'm more the extroverted, because mostly they're like, oh, she's the quiet one and my husband is the extroverted one. But I've just learned to just be quiet and then tell my story on the podcast.
I mean, listen and observe in that case. So somehow we kind of rub off on each other. That in a way, sometimes I'm like the outgoing one and she's like, I don't want to see anybody. I'm like, what happened to my wife?
Just leave me alone.
That's what happens when you've been together for 7 years, babe.
Yeah. When this podcast is out, that day is going to be our 7th
anniversary. Yeah. Whoa. 19th of September.
Yes.
2023. So
This
7 years
year.
ago, 2016, we had a court wedding
Mm.
in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And then a year after, November, was the 17th?
Yeah.
We had like the white
The
wedding.
4th of November, we had the
White
white
wedding.
wedding.
Like, I don't really remember the date of the white wedding. Like, the main date in my head is like the first wedding that we had. Like, we didn't have much people, but it was kind of special to me.
Yeah, it was
That first one. So 7 years together, babe.
7 years.
Yeah. So it's crazy. We've been through a lot.
Yeah.
For that 7 years, but I think we're going to come to that. Let's go back to the introduction of in the cafeteria.
Yeah. So like basically what happened is that he was all in asking me all those bunch of questions. I was quite naive. I was just answering those questions, and I had those braids.
Oh yeah.
I had like, I don't know, over 150 braids, tiny braids, and it was actually a Nigerian woman that just given birth to twins that did that back in Germany. And it was really fun because I got introduced to her through I call her my Igbo mom, which is also Nigerian. And Mama Linda, I love her. And so yeah, she braided my hair, and it was so fun because she was like, "Oh yeah, I need to hook you up with my brother, my Nigerian brother." And I'm like, "No, I'm going away. I'm going to the States. I'm not interested in any man." And then here I am in the cafeteria meeting a Nigerian man in Hawaii.
We are everywhere. You cannot run away from us.
I'm telling you, they are everywhere.
If you go anywhere and you don't find a Nigerian man, run. It is not safe there.
You better run.
You can't make money there.
I'm telling you, it's not safe. No, but so what happened is that I meet him and I'm in that cafeteria. He's asking me these questions. I had a British accent, and he was like, "Hey, where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from Germany." And he was like, "Wait, what? You sound like South African or something like that."
Or English.
Or English because of my braids also and everything. So yeah, that's how our first conversation started. And ever since then, we had we would meet, we'd have conversations, get to know each other. And then, once we started dating, the point where we decided to date, that was also a whole deep conversations about the topic of how do I know that I'm ready? And what does that mean? So we already started this whole journey of relationship with already having deep talks about different things, like how to know that I'm ready. He was about to leave, actually. Let me tell you guys, he stood up. I was sitting at that table and I was determined to make my point. And he stood up and he was like, "Okay, I think you're not ready. I think this is just going about and around. And I'm just going to say bye." I'm like, "Excuse me, sir." Sit down. No, I wasn't saying that. I can't even remember what I said, but I said like, "This is my dream. I'm seeing you to be the father of my children, our children. I see you by my side, and it scares me so much that I don't know that I'm ready because this is to be honest, my first relationship with someone, and I came to Hawaii for healing. I came to Hawaii to seek the face of the Lord and just serving and being there. And I never really imagined that I would meet somebody like you. And so for me, it was like, like, what am I doing here? Why is this happening? So like, there's a lot of stuff going on. And so, yeah, this whole talk in itself was like deep. And ever since then, when we would meet up in the evenings, because I was working, you were working during the days. And so in the evenings, it wasn't like everybody's thinking about Hawaii. Yeah, we have holidays and honeymoon and everything, and
it
we're
was
just
different.
chilling. No, for us, it was like we worked during the day. We worked, and then so in the evenings, we met up those days when we could, because you also have those engagements like worship nights, prayer meeting nights, or other events that are happening in the evenings. And so sometimes we wouldn't even have time to meet. But on those days when we would meet or evenings, we would sit down and we would talk. We I would cry mostly because I had to learn a lot of things, and I had to learn and I had to heal.
Yeah.
Because I just went out of really bad experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the reasons why I went to Hawaii, to just be able to heal. And through deep talks and through connecting and communicating with you, I believe that I received a lot of healing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why this whole thing, this whole podcast, this deep conversations that we have has been such a huge part of our lives, where we sit down in the evenings. Mostly we start like, hey, how are you, honey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm fine. I was like, no, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm fine. Therapist.
Yes. He mostly goes like, I'm fine. It's like, honey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, for me at the beginning, it wasn't very deep. Like, I just saw somebody came to me and was like, hey, let's eat together on the table. Looked at her, she had braids. I was like, who's this weird girl just coming to me? Because normally, like, she was bold. It wasn't very common for any girl to walk up to you and be like, hey, let's come to our table. So the first thing I could tell was that she's probably not from here. Because normally, like, in the States, it was very rare for a lady to just walk up to you and say, hey, come eat with us.
Yeah. That's like you're already dating.
Yeah, So I was like, okay, who's this person? But I didn't want to be rude, so I just stood up on the shore. Let's go eat. So we sat down and we started eating. And one of the first things that I noticed was that, she had like this beautiful blue eyes, and then she had like braids. She still has beautiful blue eyes. No braids anymore, but still beautiful.
Soon to be coming, hopefully.
Beautiful hair. But I was like, whoa, she's pretty. So first of all, I wanted to know how old she was. Because it was very important to me. Like, the age was important to me. Like, I didn't want to marry someone that was older than me, partly because of my culture or something. But I wanted to know how old she was. And then, hey, Jason,
do you want to come and join us? Yeah, we're having a conversation.
come this way.
Come this way.
You just woke up from having a nap.
Here. But you have to be quiet, okay? Because we're having a conversation, okay? Oh no! And then
the other one is also awake. This is what happens when you try to record a podcast and you have two kids.
I guess we will do this in the evenings.
Probably better when they're sleeping.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna try and round up the introduction for now before we continue.
Yeah.
In another episode.
Episode, but yeah.
But for me, I was just taking off a list for me because I had a list of what I really wanted in a person, and I didn't want to waste any time with anybody, especially if it's a girl, because normally your intentions are easily misunderstood when you're connecting with a lady at a deeper level without having any future plans. Yeah. So I didn't want to waste my time in that sense. She was just being friendly and nice. I was trying to find out some stuff.
Yeah.
So I was asking different questions, which actually led me to know from our first meeting that I actually wanted to be with her. Although she didn't know yet. She was just, oh, cool guy, my friend. For me, I already knew from the first meeting, okay, this is somebody special. And so, like you said, we started having like more meetings, getting to know each other, seeing their island, traveling and everything. Till we came to a point where we had to define the relationship. It's a very Christian term. Define.
For us, it wasn't really defining. For us, it was, are we in or are we out? Because for us, it was from the beginning like, hey, if we do this for real, and we're gonna get married.
Yes, Zane.
Jason, you want to go to Zane?
Can you go to Zane and keep Zane company? We're gonna come and pick him up, okay?
Okay, and then we can go and eat some ice cream.
Yeah.
All right.
You want some ice cream? Jason, you want some ice cream? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to go shortly to Zane there so he doesn't cry.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go soon, okay?
Okay. We're just going to finish up here, okay?
Yeah, we're going to finish up and then we're going to come, okay? All right. Now go to your brother so he doesn't cry, okay? So come through here. Careful. And then careful.
Don't touch
Don't
it.
touch it. Just go through, and
Okay.
then you can climb. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, that's the firstborn getting this. He's so grown up.
He's grown up, guys. He's grown up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so the talk actually helped us to decide, Yeah, Zayn is crying. Yeah. Yeah, you can go up the bed shortly. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So this has been really like something that has been birthed. There's been something.
Just want to come down? It's okay. You don't have to bring him down. You can just stay with him so he doesn't cry. Okay? Good boy.
So, yeah, this has been something that has been birthed very, like from the beginning of our journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is not just a podcast that we just started now. I believe that God has been putting that into our hearts from the very beginning to have deep conversations and to really get to know one another through deep conversations.
Yeah.
And in Germany, you have this term, es geht Eingemachte. Like you go into the interior of your, organs.
Yeah.
You have some real deep talk.
Into your organs. Yes, there's ice cream in the fridge, yeah.
And so this is something that has been birthed for a while now. And so we are super excited to be doing this and super excited that we are able to do this. And we are really looking forward to more episodes to come.
Yeah. We're going to continue. We're going to go deeper into our story, how we decided to start dating when we got married.
Yeah.
Just so you guys can get to know more about us.
Yes.
But right now, since we have the blessing of our kids,
I have
to actually stop now and take care of them.
Yeah.
And then, we're going to continue in the next episode.
And T put some lights on.
Yeah, the romantic light.
I guess this is the end. All right, guys.
See you in the next episode of Ebony and Ruth podcast.
See you. Podcast. Bye-bye.